This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the Philadelphia Eagles. I'll be back.
All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Today we hit Week 10, and we've got a good one in store between the New Orleans Saints and the Philadelphia Eagles. The shadows starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by their third-year quarterback calling the shots under center. It'll be Carson Wentz.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some. They threw it accurately. One touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
Now a play fake here on first down. And complete to Zach Ertz. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Ertz over the middle. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. And the tight end, Zach Ertz, is key in this offense as we get a look at the starters.
Comes out of the factory known as Stanford, which keeps putting out tight ends. Zach Ertz, one of the better ones we've seen in recent years.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys. Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it, and this one winds up no good.
And because they couldn't hit the long field goal, they are set up nicely offensively at the 41, 1st and 10. They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. The numbers there for Kamara from a week ago. 17 carries, 63 yards.
I can't remember the last time we did a game and a coach didn't talk about establishing the run first. But they've lost 2 straight games, so they still want to do that. But they've got to have some contingencies, some other options. Expect them maybe to throw it a little bit to open up things and maybe run it a little bit more later in the game. Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, you know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
15 yards through the air and a first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Here we go now.
On second down, Kamara. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt, I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Now, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What did the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him old reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down. He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
To throw on second down. English. James has got it. Complete. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up first and goal. Pretty solid start for the rookie here on this first drive, Charles.
Able to have some confidence, stepping back into the pocket, move around a little bit, find open receivers, and deliver. That just means his confidence is going to continue to grow because he's getting more and more comfortable with each completed pass.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He can make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. This is kind of one of those in-between plays here, Charles, on third and goal from the 2 or the 3 in that area. What do you dial up?
Something quick hitting. You don't have the time for something to develop slowly. It's got to be right at them if you're going to run the football. If you're going to throw it, something quick, get it out of your hands in a hurry.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete. Fourth down now looming after Philly's defense stands tall in coverage.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tuck rule that they can fall back on anymore.
So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Here's a handoff to Ajayi to begin the drive. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. We'll check on his status when we get back. They'll run with the former Badger. It's Corey Clement. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Gonna look deep for Jeffrey. And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's 4th down. That makes them now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on 3rd down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. Let's take it inside his own 40. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
That's caught by Meredith right side. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 15 yards through the air and a 1st down. And they've got it here with a 1st down. They go play action here on 1st down. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. He was looking for his fullback there, Zach Line. And now it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Looking to throw. English. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Brandon Graham in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. On the carry, here's Clement. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Now Wentz on 3rd down. And he connects with Ertz. And they're able to get this one across the 35. An Eagle 1st down there. Wentz to Ertz. And the names that end in TZ.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
To throw is Wentz. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. The Eagles on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Now Wentz. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
A hit as he throws there, incomplete. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
On 3rd down, English. James has it. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down. And that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Zach Line, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Saints add on to their lead. And, boy, that was a heavy set. I think they had 3 tight ends out there. The fullback, you knew what they were going to do.
Yeah, they weren't trying to fool anybody at all, were they? There was none of this show you heavy set, bootleg it out. Nah. Big guys up front, hand it to the big guy in the backfield.
Lutz with the extra point. And the lead grows to 10-0. Lutz now to kick this one away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. All right, time for us now to discuss Alshon Jeffrey. A chance maybe here for them to get him more involved. They're down here on the scoreboard, and he's been very quiet.
And the silence has been deafening for his team. They don't need that at all. They need fireworks. They need explosive plays. They need him touching the football in any way possible. Maybe go to some jet sweeps. Anything to get him going.
Yeah, something to get in the ball. We'll see if they can do it.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
And he's brought down after a good gain. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. They'll run it now out of the gun. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Now Wentz. Letting one go deep for into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ken Crawley. And he'll take it all the way up near the 30-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive. Ball into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Earlier this half, you were wondering how the defense was going to handle him defensively. Were they going to bottle him up at different levels, so to speak, is what you said. What have you seen so far?
I think they've been absolutely terrific because it feels like on every play, if we were watching this in the film room, when he clicked off the film or stopped it, you would see 11 shirts of that same color right there in the frame trying to tackle him. That's what you're looking for.
Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. The last catch nearly got him a first, but it did not, and they'll try to convert on 3rd and inches. A minute 58 to go in this first half of play. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. Fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. Try to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And this is Ertz with it, right side. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Wentz going to throw. Throw left side is complete to Rodgers. And he's taken down, but not before he... gets this into enemy territory across the 40. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
On 2nd down, here's Wentz. And the reception made by Alshon Jeffrey. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Wentz now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. Wentz now on 1st down. That ball's caught. Aguilar, right side. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. Well, they've been practicing goal line offense all week. Let's see if they're able to capitalize here. Wentz. His pass caught at the 4. And a good display of footwork will only get him just inside the 5 to the 4. 3 yards is the gain that time, 2nd and goal. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an error.
And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. From the gun, it's Wentz. Nowhere to go here. He lost gets the football. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. From the right hash, this from an even 40 yards out. And Elliott puts this one through. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
Here we go. 56. Green, 39. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit. Leopard.
A final shot before break. English. He's going to wind up and air it out. And this one is incomplete. So we have reached halftime with a bit. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go. Set now to go for the third quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Watch it now, Barney. Leopard. Set. Green, 39. Leopard.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Fletcher Cox there for the tackle. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to third down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. That's complete to Meredith. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Quick slant there gets him the first down, 6 yards on the play.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Patriot. Leopard.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And it's a fumble. And the Eagles have recovered. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
A run is Clement. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. And Jeffrey's got it. An Eagle first down. Wentz hooking up with Jeffrey.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
On play action, Wentz under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Alex Okafor in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just... face it, this offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
Hey. Here we go.
They'll run with Clement. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
On play action, it's Wentz. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Demario Davis in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
So it's a rare 2-miss ball game for him now. Normally one of the more dependable guys you're going to find around.
Very unlike him. One of the better kickers in the NFL. And I don't think there's anything wrong with him physically or mechanically. He's just having one of those games.
Now a handoff looking right. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the 1st down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
Right back to him on 1st down. And he's going to take it down to about the 35 here. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And they'll try the ground game here with running back. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
All right, here we go.
On 3rd and 2, English. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Dante Fowler in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DM.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of fun.
And he's taken down here by the Saints. Alex Okafor in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Rodgers. And he's able to get up here to the 26. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Well, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw? And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Wasn't able to get anything, no gain. Fumbled once already. Maybe he's being a little careful. Not necessarily on that play, but I'm sure that's in his mind somewhere.
Oh, without a doubt, because protecting the football is job one for anyone who's carrying it. And that's exactly what he tried to do on that play, but it didn't gain him any yardage.
Down to about the 22 here. 9 yards on the carry there, and that will be the final play of quarter number 3. It's the Saints. They'll be looking to expand their lead here. They've got the Saints on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. They're up against a 3rd-and-1 situation. And they'll go on the ground. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Throwing again. English. But he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's third down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, fourth quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
Back to throw. English. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. They do get 9, but it leads to fourth down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. So his second field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the fourth quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, it totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football.
And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Alex Anzalone in there with pressure yet again, and that's the 7th time they've dropped him here this afternoon.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
And his throw is going to be incomplete. The Eagles on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Working from the gun. Wentz. Jeffrey with a catch left side. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game. Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 10 more there and another first down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, Oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Give him 7 on the play, and it'll make it a second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. An Eagle first down, Wentz to Ertz. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Wentz now on first down. Over the middle, it's caught by Rodgers. Even with the good footwork, he'll be stopped just inside the 35-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
Shotgun now for Wentz. It's brought in by Jeffrey. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Foul shot. Jeffrey, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles are back within a score. Elliott good with a PAT. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Elliott now to kick this one away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a 1-score game, and you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to run the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Well, they didn't accomplish their goal. They didn't get a stop there, gave up another first down. They have all 3 timeouts in their pocket. I think defensively you've got to start thinking about using them here.
I was just going to ask you at what point you think now's the go time?
I think now's the go time. I don't think you sit back and wait because they can take a lot of time off the clock between plays and run 3 to 4 and really put you in a stressful spot. I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jordan Hicks. And he is not quite going to make it all the way in. They'll mark him down right about the 1-yard line. That's That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. He'll get it up the middle. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and goal. Back to throw. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. Eli Rogers with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Eagles have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, it could come back at you a long way.
And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. He's likely still kicking himself from the interception last drive that wound up leading to a go-ahead score.
And he's going to assume all that came with that one, all right? That's all on him, but he also knows he's got to erase it from his mind and get back out there. This drive, very important.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the 2nd quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
He's back to throw. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it. It's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. The Saints on 3rd down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This is 3rd and 10.
Detroit!
They'll look to throw. And nearly intercepted there. That would have been ball game if he had clinched it and caught it. Instead, it gives him one more chance here on 4th down. This defense looking impenetrable now. 3 straight incompletions. They're giving him nowhere to go with the football. Maybe a little frustrated back there.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. When you've missed on 3 straight, there's going to be some frustration. But now you've got to make sure that frustration is temporary, not lingering.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Derek Barnett able to collapse the pocket and drop him for a loss of a yard. Oh, offensive nightmare there. You go for it on 4th, and the play doesn't even really get to develop a sack.
And it's so unfortunate, too, because you think you've got something good called, but if your offensive line can't hold up, that's often the result. They find a way back to the quarterback.
And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They'll run again with Clement, and that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Come on now. Let's go.
This is Clement. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they get the stoppage with 65 seconds remaining. And the kick by Elliott is good. And that'll make this a 7-point game. From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
They are on to the fourth quarter in Jacksonville, and give that one to the Texans as they wind up winners. Allen Hurns, he had a touchdown reception to help the cause. Back to throw. Oh, he stays out, and he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Derek Barnett in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. He'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield, and the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Back-to-back big plays defensively. First the sack. Now they force the incompletion on 3rd and long. Things looking pretty good for them.
And this is where they have to be careful, because they got the momentum going their way. They will be really amped up to get to the quarterback. Look out. Draw, screen, something that can be used against them.
Gone! All right, now look at 56.
Throwing on 3rd and long. English. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Derek Barnett in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
Gone!
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. He's going to let it fly. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Eagles are likely going to win it. So they had to take the shot there. Obviously, that was pretty much it, their last chance.
No other play for them, right? I mean, there's no other choice. It's not like you can have some strategy move, right? Punt it away and hope you... No, that's what they had to do. Right now, that offensive unit, they're pretty discouraged on the sidelines. They're going to feel like they let the team down in that situation, but they were in a tough spot to begin with.
And with no timeouts now, they just need a miracle.
Yeah, an absolute miracle. If the team that has the ball, just find a way to run out the clock, take care of the ball, and go home a winner.
A great come-from-behind victory in this one, Charles, and really the difference, obviously, was that fourth quarter. They dominated.
And it has to start with believing that you can make that comeback. Because we've been in games before. We've done games where you can just look at one team and realize they have no chance of making it back. Not in...
You